you guys, and welcome back to another video with DIYs by Carolina. I hope you guys are doing well and having an amazing Sunday. So in today's video, you guys, I am actually going to be going back and showing you what those landscaping projects that I did in my front yard space, what they look like currently. So a lot of these projects were actually completed in 2023. So I'm also going to be sharing with you which weed barrier held up best, because as you guys can recall, I used 3 different weed barriers in these landscaping projects. I used the Xboard, I also used the cardboard, and then I used weed fabric. So we're going to go through and just kind of, take a look at all of the projects. So I am going to be showing you guys how those areas have held up, because I haven't done anything to them. I haven't started like cutting my grass or weed eating. So my yard is a hot mess, you guys. So just be prepared for that. So before we get started with that, some of you requested in the comments to see some still before and after pictures of the landscaping projects to kind of get an idea of how much of a transformation these projects made in my front yard space. So here they are. So if you guys are interested in seeing the actual full video of these individual projects, I made sure to link the full videos in the description. So definitely make sure you check that out. So I want to go through and just kind of let you guys know what month in 2023 I completed these projects, and just kind of show you how those projects have held up since then. That way, whenever you guys get ready to go out and maybe try to, accomplish some of these projects, you won't make the same mistakes I made. All right, you guys, so right quickly, I want to give you guys a rough look at what my entire yard looks like. Keep in mind, I haven't done anything to this space for the spring. I haven't cut the grass, I haven't pulled any weeds, I haven't weed eated, I haven't done anything yet. But I wanted to show you guys just how well a lot of these projects held up, and just kind of maybe give you some tips about the different weed barriers and things that I wish I had done differently. And so then that way, whenever you guys start your project, you won't make the same mistakes I made. All right, so right quickly, let's go and take a look at the first space that I had completed in the landscaping project, which, if you recall, is the mailbox area. So let's take a look and see how that space has held up. So the first project, remember, was the mailbox. And here's what that space looks like currently. And you guys might remember when I completed this landscaping project, I used the Xboard in this space. And as you guys can see, the area is covered in weeds. Completely covered. And so it's not that the Xboard didn't do what it needed to do. The problem was I should have layered the Xboard. I didn't layer it. And that's where I made my mistake, because remember, that Xboard material is extremely thin, okay? So what I should have done was I should have layered at least 3, maybe 4 pieces, and that would have protected the space a lot better. So will I continue to use Xboard? Absolutely. But again, I've never done this before. This was my first time ever doing any type of landscaping work. I'm not a professional. I learn as I go, okay? But I will definitely use it again in other projects. I'll just definitely know, going forward, to layer it up. And you guys can see here some of the Xboard material sticking out. So in a later video, I am going to be just kind of cleaning up these areas, making the front yard space look a lot better. And of course, I will be taking you guys along with me as I do that. And I will be adding some additional Xboarding to this space, or maybe even cardboard, just whatever I can find or whatever. But I will be doing that. All right, so here's a look at the other space. So this is the space that includes the walkway. And as you can see, guys, there's weeds again all throughout the walkway area. And remember, in the walkway space, I use the combination of the Xboard as well as the weed fabric. And guys, excuse the noise. So me using a combination of both weed barriers, you can see it really didn't make that much of a difference. So again, I am going to be in a later video just pulling out all these weeds, maybe adding some more Xboard or either some more cardboard, so then that way, you know, we won't have so bad of a problem with the weeds. But this space here was actually completed in August of 2023. And if I failed to mention, the mailbox was completed in July of 2023. So this is just kind of giving you guys a raw look of the work that I have cut out for me in a couple of weeks. So I definitely have my work cut out for me, you guys. And in this area here, I predominantly used Xboard. That's basically all I used in this space here was the Xboard. I only added the weed barrier to the space that included the walkway. And then the little flower bed on the opposite side of the walkway. I included some weed fabric there as well. So again, in this area, I just did the Xboard, and again, I only did one layer. And I should have doubled it up or, you know, layered it, so then that way it could have been thicker. And this is why we have so much weed in this space. So yeah, there's a lot of weed here. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the area that's around the two trees. And this area was actually completed in June as well, so June of 2023. And as you guys can recall, I actually used cardboard as a weed barrier in this space. So let's take a look and see what this space looks like now. All right, so now we're gonna take a walk over here to the area with the two trees. And you guys can already see here, there's not a lot of weeds in this area. And this area was also completed in July of 2023. And I used cardboard in this project. But one thing to keep in mind is when I landscaped this area, there wasn't a lot of grass here to begin with. There was a lot of bare spots here, which might actually, you know, explain why I don't have any weeds in this area. So that might explain it, because there were a lot of bare spots here. So now there are just a few little weeds that popped up in this little space here. Not many, just a few. So that wasn't bad at all, you guys. So very quickly, I want to show you guys what the Xboard looks like, the Xboard material. So this is mine, and again, like I showed you guys before, it comes on a roll, okay? And so this is not that thick, okay? Let me see if I can show you guys right here. So here's what the Xboard material looks like on the roll. And like I told you guys, it's not the thickest at all. You can kind of see that here. So what you would have to do if you're going to use this as weed barrier in your landscaping projects, double it up, okay, or whatever. I would probably do 3 layers of this, or more, 3 or more layers, okay? I think the 1 layer is just not going to cut it, because again, it's so thin compared to the cardboard. So I would definitely just layer this up but this could definitely, absolutely, it could work. Okay, you guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the little space over by the storage house where I completed the little flower bed. And remember, in that space, all I used was the fabric weed barrier, and I completed that space in July. So it was like the first week of July in 2023 that I completed that little flower bed. So let's take a look at it. All right, you guys, so here is that area. And again, don't judge me, y'all. I have not done anything to this space, to the yard. Everything looks a hot mess right now. But yeah, so as you guys can see here, not a single solitary weed over here. Okay? Nothing. But you can kind of see here where some of the weed barrier is kind of sticking up out of the mulching. So yeah, it's doing what it needs to do. But then also I do want to point out, and I'm not sure if this made a difference or not, but when I added this weed fabric, I layered it. I doubled it up. Okay, so I just didn't put one strip of the weed barrier. I doubled it up and then surrounded it around that space. So yeah, so that's what the space is looking like. No weed, no nothing. Not bad. All right, so let's go ahead and take a walk around the back of the house over by the air conditioning unit and the water heater, and let's take a look at that particular area. Oh my gosh, I just can't get over how gorgeous of a day it is today, you guys. I'm just so motivated to get out here and do some work in my yard, and I will, but I will be posting that video probably next week or so. Oh, and also someone actually asked a wonderful question in the comment, and I hope I was able to help you. So in my backyard space, sometimes it gets a little mushy after it rains a lot or whatever. And if you're having to deal with areas in your yard, back or front, where it's kind of mushy, you know, the soil doesn't dry out quickly, what I typically use is lime. I use lime. You can purchase it from your local hardware store because it actually soaks up the moisture in your soil. So that's definitely something I wanted to point out. But that was such a great question because I never knew this. I didn't always know that. And so someone told me, and I was glad I was able to share that with someone else. But yeah, let's go take a look at the space. All right, you guys, so ooh, goodness, I have my work cut out for me, y'all. Oh. So here's what that space looks like at the moment. Now, since then, I've gotten a new HVAC system because this one is much, much larger than the one on the video. But yeah, for the most part, all I used was the weed fabric in this space, you guys might recall. And yeah, just weed fabric, and it's doing very well. The only place where I see some weed coming up is right here at the edge. So just right here is where I'm starting to notice a little bit of weeding, and maybe around the corner back here. But other than that, you guys, everything else looks pretty good. Yeah, it's not, yeah, maybe a little weed there or whatever. And again, the purpose of me going back and just kind of showing you guys how those landscaping projects have held up within the last few months is because, you know, when I posted the video, a lot of you guys were really, really excited about the projects. You couldn't wait to get outdoors and start your project, and I'm super excited about that. That was the point of these videos, was to basically show you how simple and how easy it was to accomplish. And you don't need help to do this. You don't have to go out and hire somebody. You can do this completely by yourself. So I do want to go ahead and just kind of make sure that you guys are fully aware of, you know, what's the best protection in terms of weed barrier and the best thing to use, because again, I'm trying to save my back, so naturally I'm trying to save your backs as well, because y'all, look, ain't nobody trying to be doing all that bending, no, okay? Pulling weeds and everything, but yeah. So then that way, when you guys start your project, you will know exactly what you need to do. All right, you guys, so that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video and found the content useful, especially those of you who are ready to get out there and start landscaping your property. And again, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Carolina, and I would absolutely love to have you join my family of subscribers. And as always, to my new and existing subscribers, you guys know you are always welcome back. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye now.